You said, I want to make it hard for them to fire me.
We want to make it hard by giving them exceptional service. If it wasn't for our customers, we would be here for 100 years and we won't be here for the next 100 years. Well, we thrive by being different than the big people. We go to market a lot differently than they do. Independents are going to always have their niche. People are always want to go support local families, local communities.
I saw a statistic this week, I think 92% have no succession plan. 92%,
Yeah.
like that's insane. And a lot of those people are going to be retiring in the next 5 to 6 years.
In the past, my dad looked at it as like, hey, 6 months before I retire, I'll call you to come in, we'll do the transition. It's not a 6 month, it's more like a 5 to 6 year plan.
Yeah. Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Couch. This is the spot where leaders talk about the stories, strategies, and systems that win in the building industry. We unpack how leaders and brands build their reputations and become unmistakable. Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Couch, and today I'm coming to you live from an amazing tiny home inside of Lummus Supply in Acworth, Georgia, with my guest, Will Lummus. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I've got an intro for you. So you are the CEO of Lummus Supply, 5th generation.
That's correct.
Like 1% of people get to 5th generation.
Maybe even less than that.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Family-owned building materials supplier. You've been serving Atlanta Metro. This is your 101st year, right? So you hit 100
correct.
last year.
Yes.
And your whole family has been in this business. It started as a sand and coal business, right?
That is correct.
Very interesting story. But your history is cool. I want to talk about what you're doing today a lot more. So you are not only on the board of the Construction Suppliers Association, but you are doing a lot in your own business to make sure that you hit the next 100 years.
That's right.
Our industry has seen a lot of consolidation. Every day I read like Berkshire Hathaway this week just bought Taylor Morrison.
Yeah.
Brad Jacobs is acquiring a lot of building materials distributors and dealers in this space. How does the independent not only just survive in the future, but how do you actually thrive?
Well, we thrive by being different than the big people. We go to market a lot differently than they do. I know there's still a lot of people out there who want to deal with the family businesses, who want to support the independents. And we kind of, we are an independent, but we also kind of consider ourselves not a small independent. We have 5 locations, we have 90 employees. So, you know, we're doing things right. We're not a small business. We're not a great, huge business. We're right there in that little sweet spot in the middle. But, you know, independents are going to always have their niche. People are always want to go support local families, local communities. So I see us be relevant for another 100 years.
Yeah, and you're reinvesting in things like EWP saws and showrooms and technology and marketing and things that you need to grow as well. So you're not just waiting and hoping that everything's okay in 100 more years.
Correct.
What do you think the strongest independents are doing that is very different? You say you go to market different. What does that mean that maybe some others or big boxes might be missing?
We're not selling on price. We sell on service. We sell on customer commitment. We sell on teamwork, integrity, family values.
Yeah. And you guys are furnishing and speccing out. I was just with your engineered wood department, and Todd and I, who used to work together, he was showing me a 30,000 square foot plan that you guys are taking off an engineered wood plan. Those people are not worried about price.
No.
If you're building a 30,000 square foot house, you're probably not worried if a LVL is 102 a foot or 103 a foot or whatever it is. But you guys are really showing a lot on the high-end millwork, which, you know, it's my favorite category there is.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that. So what do you do when someone comes in and they're like, I don't really know what I want, but I know I want a really awesome door, maybe something that stands out from the crowd, talking about being different. What does that look like for you guys?
So as you said, we're sitting in one of our tiny homes. We have 2 of these here at our Acworth location. We built these so a homeowner can come in and actually see what a full-size window, what a full-size door feels like, looks like. On the outside of the houses, they're all sided, so it looks like a house when you come in. It gives it that feel. before we had the little cutout displays.
Yeah.
And everybody said, oh, these are great. They open up beautifully. Then when they got them in their house, they're like, this thing's a lot heavier than I thought. So we wanted the bigger displays. So when they come in here and lift and open, they're actually going to feel what it's going to feel like in their own home.
Yeah, and doors and windows continue to get larger. I mean, we're sitting here with some that really comparatively are big, but they're not as big as you see them. And I'm sure you guys are selling a lot of very large openings for these big houses. It's hard to visualize this on a sample that's 2x3.
Yes, you can't. And that's the feedback we got from our customers and their customers, was that we needed something larger scale. So that's when we decided to build these 2 tiny homes here in Acworth to give our customers a larger scale of what it's going to feel and look like.
I have a friend, Michael Tull, and he has this saying that I just basically stole from him. But it's show and tell and watch it sell.
Yeah.
And it's true, because when you can feel things and you can see what you're actually looking at, it's very easy for you to say, like, hey, I can envision this in my home. And then, like you said, price is not the number one thing. Because
it's not.
They want it.
They want it.
They need it.
And when they come here, we're giving them options. And that's something we do a little bit differently than we think our competition does. We don't want to have just 1 or 2 vendors that we distribute. We're happy to say we distribute 5, 6, 7, because it's not up to me to tell you what needs to be in your home. You need to tell me what you want in your home.
Yeah.
So with these tiny homes, we have all of our vendors on display, so you get to see a little bit of everybody. So you make the decision. You tell us what you like, what's going to fit in your house, and then we can go from there.
So one of the things that I get asked a lot honestly from consumers, but also talk to builders and even manufacturers about, is there's so many options out there. So you just talked about, you guys don't have 1 or 2, you have 5, maybe sometimes you have 5 vendors with 50 options within that. What do you see that people are asking you the most? Like when people come in and they're wanting windows or doors or engineered wood or Trex decking or TimberTech decking or all these brands that are out there, what questions are asking, and what do homeowners really care about? And then I'll ask you, what are builders really caring about? Because I'm sure it's different.
So homeowners want more glass. They want more visibility. They want less walls in their homes. They want to be able to see their beautiful backyards, the mountains, the lakes. So that's what they're looking for. And that's why you see these doors and windows are getting larger, because it gives you more natural light coming into the house. And that's what builders are looking for also. That's what they want in their homes. It shows better for them. Especially if it's a spec house, you come in, you got all this natural light coming into the house. You walk in the front door and able to look out a big 20-foot sliding door out back to see your backyard. It's what everybody wants.
So you just mentioned a bunch of things that were emotional and more visual, but not how much vapor is inside this glass and what is the 1% energy efficiency. If we do this one thing, it's like 0.002% more efficient. That's what manufacturers talk about all the time. And you just mentioned nothing about that. Do people even care about that? And do you get asked questions like that? Because we're a marketing team, we're a branding team, and I see a lot of marketing that is about these little nooks and crannies.
So on the R&R side, we do get asked that question, because those people are replacing windows, doors that are 30, 40 years old. They're not insulated. There's no R value to them. So they ask those questions a little bit more than a new homeowner is.
Okay. Let's switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about leadership. So you took over a family business, and you have granddads and your dad and a lot of different people that have led this team, but you took over. Tell me when you took over, and how did you decide that you wanted to preserve the amazing parts of Lummus and what made you guys great, but also evolve the things that would help you continue to win? And what was that like, that transition turning into a leadership role?
CSA had a large part in that transition. They have what's called a next gen group. I went through it. My brother's gone through it. My son has gone through it. My daughter's fixing to start in it. They did an amazing job on helping us open our eyes to what it's like for the next generation to take over. In the past, my dad looked at it as like, hey, when 6 months before I retire, I'll call you to come in. We'll do the transition.
Yeah.
Where CSA taught us it's not a 6 month, it's more like a 5 to 6 year plan.
Yeah.
So when I completed my next gen class, I sat down with my dad and we talked about it, and he says, well, it's time for you to come to Bolton. And at that time, that's where our corporate was. And he says, it's time for me to mentor you, for you to listen in on a few more things. So CSA had a huge part in our helping us transition the correct way, and I feel like it was successful. You mentioned, continuing on the family traditions. There was nothing for me to change because we've been doing it for 100 years. So I figured if you're doing it for 100 years and you're around for 100 years, something's being done right.
Yeah.
So a lot of those traditions we kept, and that's also being a part of a family independent company, is that even though we do have 90 employees, even though we do have to be corporate HR sometimes, we still want to have our core being around family, supporting our family, because I always say all my employees are my family. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have the last name Lummus to be my family. You just got to be a part of my team.
Well, and you've got a lot of team members that have been here for a long time. I know you've had a lot of people that have worked here their whole career and retired. So it's a place that people come and they stick, which is a big deal for the culture. It speaks for itself. You're definitely doing a lot more of that, I guess, with the next generation. So let's talk a little bit about Ashlyn, because I've been working with her a little bit on the social media marketing side, and she does a lot in the business. You talked about the Next Gen program. I am a daughter of a lumber man as well, so I resonate deeply with her, and I see what she's doing. What excites you the most about watching her work with you and working with her? Tell me a little bit about that, because I know it comes with challenges and with opportunities.
Her passion, just seeing the joy that she comes in every day. She's excited about coming into work. And that's the part, to me, that's the best.
Yeah.
Because I told both my kids, I said, just because your last name's Lummus doesn't mean you need to come into the family business.
Yeah.
I was very upfront with them. You're going to go to college. You're going to get an education. It's going to open you up to other avenues if that's the route you want to go. And I told them, I said, I only want you to come into the business if you're as passionate as I am. And I have a pretty high passion for this business.
Yeah.
And she has that passion. I see it in her every day.
It's fiery and I love it. I want to go back to the next generation conversation just a little bit, because I get asked about this a lot, but I saw a statistic this week. It was talking about generally businesses with family owned small businesses,
Right.
But it was talking about, I think 92% have no succession plan.
Correct.
92%,
Yeah.
like that's insane. And a lot of those people are going to be retiring in the next 5 to 6 years, which you mentioned, like it usually takes at least that long to really figure it out. So opportunities like Next Gen with CSA, what does that look like? Like in real life, if somebody's listening to this and they're a next generation leader or would like to be a next generation leader and they want to know about how can you get ready, what does that prep look like? What actually are you doing in that course or that opportunity, I guess?
It's a 3-year course.
Wow.
Yeah. You meet twice a year with other independent future leaders. Mm-hmm. And it starts a network. So you have other people who are like you, about the same age in the industry, who are coming up with their families. So you get to share some stories with them to where it might be a little easier to ask them than it is to go ask your mom or dad.
Sure.
So the networking is huge, but it also has other leaders who come in, talk. They go over real life situations. They tell you about, hey, this isn't going to be easy. We're going to prep you for it. Mm-hmm. So it's just a lot of preparation, and it's, knowledge is king, knowledge is power. So the more knowledge you get from these courses, the better prepared you're going to be.
I love that. And going through that with other people, like you said, that you can call and say, hey, what do you think about this, without having to ask your family, or just getting an outside performance, review from how am I doing and what should I be doing different.
Right.
Love
Before
that.
this podcast, I emailed a couple of my roundtable people asking them a question, and within minutes I got responses.
Did you ask them if you should have worn a pink hat to this podcast?
I did. They said I should have.
The answer was yes.
Yes, absolutely yes.
Well, next time. There's always round 2, Will. All right. You said something to me the other day and I wrote it down and I really like it. So I want to ask you about it. I ask you, what do you want to do to be valuable to your customer? So what's the goal here? And you said, I want to make it hard for them to fire me.
Right.
What does that mean to you? And what do you think that means to a builder? What would make it so hard for a builder to call and be like, you're out?
We want to make it hard by giving them exceptional service. Our number one core value is customer commitment. We're in business for our customers. If it wasn't for our customers, we would be here for 100 years and we won't be here for the next 100 years. So I look at ways, I tell my team, we're a team. I tell my account managers, you're never going to be put on an island. You are going to be the main contact for this customer, but I'm going to surround you with industry leaders and show that customer that, hey, listen, you don't just have 1, 2, or 3 people. You're going to have 4 or 5 people you can contact at Lummus Supply. That shows you our commitment to you and how we go. This another reason why we go to market a little bit differently than some of the rest, where it is an added expense by bringing these, but it separates us from other people, I feel. So that makes it hard for the customer because we bring so much more value to the table than just lumber, millwork, doors. It's what we do before, during, and after.
Yeah. And you were talking a little bit about how you're innovating with things like marketing and AI and CRMs and tracking. So tell me a little bit about that, because that's some of the things you're talking about, how you're investing in the business, not just for you and your internal team, because some of those processes will help, but for the customer.
So everything we do is for the customer. Every decision we make is based on, will this help our customer? Everything we invest in is based on, will this help our customer? And if I continue to answer yes to these questions, it's things we're going to invest in. Showrooms, our customers said, hey, we need bigger displays. Well, here you go. We built 2 tiny homes. We're also in the middle of building a new showroom at our Alpharetta location that is for our customers. Our new website that you're helping us design is not for me. I mean, I get joy by telling my friends, hey, go check out my website. Yeah. But I'm telling my customers, I'm building this for you and for your customers. This is going to give them some knowledge before they come into our showrooms. They can see our product catalogs. They can get information off of it. So I'm investing money now for the future, because if you wait, it's already past you. So I want to be on the forefront of it. And
that's one thing I hear a lot of business owners that are on the cutting edge say is like, hey, look, we may be having a little bit of a lull, which I'm not saying you guys are, but in general in the market, it's a little slow for some people, but you're not waiting until that moment to dig in, because you don't want to be the busiest you've ever been and then be trying to do these projects. You want to wait and do it when you have opportunity coming right from the get-go.
And when you're not rushed into it.
That's right.
Also.
And we had such a crazy 4 or 5 years that it's like sometimes I feel like we're finally getting able to take one deep breath at least. That's somehow a good thing. And I think that we're going to be able to continue to grow this thing. I feel really good about the next few years.
I feel good about the next 100. But,
I mean, well, I won't be here in 100 years.
Neither will I, but
maybe somebody will be wearing a pink hat in 100 years. Maybe somebody. All right, we're gonna go to a fun lightning round questions. Okay. Are you ready for the lightning round? You got a free afternoon to do anything you want. No one's calling, no meetings, no job site fires. What are you doing?
Going to the lake.
Okay, and what are you gonna do at the lake?
Get on my boat.
Okay, love it. All right, what's something that somebody would be surprised to learn about you, maybe outside of work?
Oof, that is not a lightning round question.
We have time, Will. Tell me more.
Love to cook.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's probably something people don't know. Love to cook, and not cooking in the kitchen, but anything and everything on a grill smoker. I love to do.
All right, so I'm coming over. Ben and I are coming over for dinner. What are you cooking us?
I can do brisket, ribs, the whole 9 yards on an outdoor smoker.
I'll be there on Friday.
There you go.
At the lake. All right. What is one old school business lesson that you learned and you still believe?
My dad taught me to always treat your employees right.
Amazing. Yeah. Build up your employees and they'll build the business for you, right? All right. What's one thing that people at Lummus might tease you about?
I'm very quiet at work. I don't have the outgoing personality as my brother does. So I am more behind the desk. I like my reports. Ask Ashlyn.
Who doesn't love a good report, really?
Some people don't.
Ashlyn doesn't have your appreciation for them, huh?
She has it.
Oh, she has it.
My son does not. They complement one another because my son is more of an ops. He is an ops manager at our Millwork distribution facility. He likes to be boots on the ground. Yeah. He doesn't want to be behind a desk. Ashlyn does not want to be boots on the ground. She'd rather be behind a desk.
Yeah. Well, and you talked a little bit about Reed, who's your brother, who's here in the business, and him being outgoing and him doing different things than you. I think that's so important, especially in a family business, for each person to have their thing, their strengths, and be optimizing in the way that you automatically like to win.
Right.
It's something really genius about that. And a lot of people try to do everything well. And if you can just figure out what you naturally are really good at and just do it. So if you love reports, all for you. You can write all my reports and send them to me. I may export some stuff to you.
All
right, last question. When you think about the future of independent lumberyards and millwork suppliers in the U.S., especially in the Southeast, what do you believe that the winners will do in the next year? So what is like one big thing that you think people should be thinking about, maybe that they're missing, or maybe they're already thinking about?
Technology.
Okay. Can you tell me a little more about that?
AI.
Okay.
I just got back from a CSA roundtable a couple weeks ago with 9 other independents, and AI was the biggest topic. And unfortunately, none of us knew actually where we are with AI.
Yeah.
We know we're here, but we don't know how high it's actually going to go.
It's insane because, Ben and I, we do a lot. Well, personally, we use it in our business all the time because we're trying to be a 90-person business with only 9 people. But at the end of the day, it's every single week, something like exponential changes. And it's not like, hey, you can now do this one little thing. It's like, hey, we recalibrated the entire rocket ship and now we're going to Mars, and you didn't think you could go to Mars. But at the end of the day, AI it's scary and it's a huge opportunity at the same time. I'm curious because you're at this thing with 9 people. You've got 9 independent, really great business people. I know some of the ones you're talking about. What are they thinking? Like, how are they trying to figure this out? Like, where do you go for this information? And what were some of the questions that, like, just generally the group's trying to figure out?
That's where we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know where to go right now. Where's it going? We see it as people, it's going to help a lot, we believe, with takeoffs, AI-generated takeoffs. Right now, they feel it's only 60-70% correct, which when you're building a house, you need to be 99 to 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how long do the people that are building these softwares think it would take to get? I mean, that's a big gap.
And that's where we don't know. It is a big gap, but does that gap get filled in a year, 2 years, 3 years? We don't know. We're still testing them and trying to get them more accurate. So we see a big advantage with AI when it comes to doing designs. Not only, hopefully they'll be 100% accurate. They will be before we use them.
Sure.
They'll be a lot quicker.
Yeah.
You'll be able, and that's one thing we spoke about, you'll be able to turn around designs in a day or two instead of 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, and I don't think you take the human fully out of it. Like, somebody's going to have to check this stuff. And that's even with like our team, there's a lot of things that AI can kind of do by itself. But we're always, I call it 10-80-10. I'm giving it the human brain perspective, the strategy, the context, all that up front. The 80% is AI, and then the 10% is, me checking it. Well, that's what you do when you have employees on your team too, and you're a leader. Usually you're giving them strategy, and then they're doing a lot of it, and you're making sure it's right at the end of the day. So it's no different. We just need to make sure we don't think about, hey, let's just give this to AI
and go.
See you later. Hope for the best. That's crazy. But I'm so curious. I mean, this is the biggest conversation, I think, like you said, in our industry. But I do get really worried for independent companies that aren't thinking about this and really starting to get way deep, because Home Depot and Lowe's and all these big people they're already 5 to 10 years into the deep.
Right.
But I do believe the advantage is bigger here, because if you fix it for your business, you can move quicker, and then you can pivot.
Correct.
You don't have to do a $20 million project to get AI spun up. You can just open $20 ChatGPT.
That's right.
I love that. All right, well, we're going to keep this conversation going, because I need to keep in the know on the AI of what people are asking. And that's one of the things that we at Grit Blueprint are going to start doing, is some like more, here's what's happening this week in AI type, pink hat takes is what we're going to call it, I think. So watch for those. If you're listening to this and you have questions specifically, we'd love for you to send them to us. So I'm so appreciative of you. Thank you so much. I've known you guys for a long time, because you were one of my customers for like 15 years when I worked at Two Step Distribution, and now you're my customer again here at Grit Blueprint. And so it's been great so far to work with you guys, and I'm excited to continue to watch you grow.
Thank you.
Especially in my favorite category, which is millwork.
There we go.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Grit Blueprint podcast, and we will see you on our next episode. Thank you for listening to the Grit Blueprint podcast. If this episode helped you think a little differently about how to show up, share it with someone in your building world who needs it. If you're ready to turn visibility into growth, Then head to gritblueprint.com to learn more and book a call to talk to us about your growth strategy. Until next time, stay unmistakable.